And I wanted to hop on tonight and talk about negativity and give a couple tips on how we can eliminate negativity from our lives. So, while we all have situations, there is all negative things to deal with at some point during our lives, and we have those people, we know those people who nothing good happens, it's all negative, doom and gloom. And while we can't distance ourselves from those situations or sometimes those people, we can, in regards to the people, we can learn to spend less time with them. We can learn to, in some ways, ignore what they're saying because we know they're coming from a negative mindset and we don't want to get sucked into that energy, right? There's also sometimes that you can just take what they're saying with a grain of salt, knowing those things about them. So how do we look at situations a little bit differently, right? We have to believe that we can. Believe that we're worth making that choice from a negative mindset to a positive mindset. Believe that you can think more positive if you choose to. We can make happiness a habit. So I've talked about me time and making time for yourself and just kind of unplugging and kind of all of that subject matter. And this goes hand in hand. Like when you make time to do at least one small thing for yourself that makes you happy, gives you energy, makes you feel good, that has like that domino effect of drawing more of that happy goodness to you. And you focus less on the negative things and you handle the negative things better when we're in a positive mindset. Now the next two can get a little complicated. So the first one is to let go of anger. And I'm a work in progress for this, just like anyone else. It's really learning to identify what is making you angry about the subject or the situation. Is it the person? Did they say something and they were just rude? It was uncalled for? Or is the situation really just ridiculous and you're getting angry about it? So learning to kind of take stock of what's going on when you feel that anger, frustration, all of those feelings kind of just start stewing and boiling, to really look at it and say, do I have control over this? Is this something I can make a difference in? And then, slowly, once you start that mindset of, okay, do I control this? What can I do differently? How can I help the situation or change the situation? Then you'll notice that anger and frustration kind of boil and simmer down, right? The other thing is, and again, I'm a work in progress, is that when we make mistakes or we have a negative situation, whatever it may be, we try to find and pull something positive from it. So it's a situation that could have been handled better. So what can I do differently next time? Or could I have communicated better? Should I have communicated better? What are you in control of? And was that the cause for the situation or mistake? And how can you make it better or different, handle it differently next time? So those are kind of the probably the harder steps to start doing, because it's so easy just to get angry and frustrated and kind of live in that space. But again, we're going to choose to be positive. We're going to choose to let go of some of that negativity, that anger, that, I have no control over the situation, so how can I make it better? And that's something positive that you're pulling out of that, right? So once we start to focus on positive things and changing situations and changing our mindset a little bit on, do we have control of it? What can we change? How can I do it differently? We start to attract more positive thinking into our lives, right? So why wouldn't we choose positive versus negative? Why? I certainly have tried to choose a positive way of living, choosing a hopeful way of living versus it's doom and gloom, nothing's going right, and it just sucks. So, um, yeah, there are, don't get me wrong, like I said, I'm a work in progress. There are situations that suck, there are, people that suck, and you just make that conscious choice that, again, you're worth it. You're worth making that investment in your thinking, in your mindset, in your growing to be a better version of yourself. The next thing, and kind of my last point, is we know that we have those people that we can't distance ourselves from. They could be family, they could be coworkers, they could be friends you've had forever, whatever, whoever they are. We can start to surround ourselves with more positive people, more like-minded people who choose a positive, way of thinking, mindset. They look for positive things, they look for good things, and while they handle, the negative or the bad situations, they grow from it and they move on. They don't hold that in and, let it fester inside. So choosing that, making that choice to be positive and to start surrounding ourselves with positive people, it turns into a happier, healthier you. And why wouldn't we want that? So those are my tips on trying to eliminate negativity as much as we can in our lives. If you've got any tips or have questions, post them below and I'll answer them later, and I'll talk to you guys soon.